Oh, look at it. Orchestra will get started in 20 seconds. Here we go.
Yeah, he wrote that chart for the 1991 Wisconsin Honors Jazz Ensemble. Let's see, 1991, I think I was 29. Yeah, and actually, I taught in Wisconsin, and I had a high school student for my high school that was in that Honors Jazz Ensemble when Bob Curnow originally wrote that. And he was the conductor that year as well. And as you probably know from hearing us before, Curnow was a trombonist, a composer, still is, arranger, producer, started out in the Skeffington Orchestra. He's the owner of Sierra Music Publications and leads the Bob Curnow Big Band, LA Big Band. You know, just another one of those folks that was dedicated to quality music and also quality jazz education. So, Badger Blues in the form that we did, always a new moment, right? Yeah. These folks are ready for just about anything. Because on the stage, you know, things happen, page turns, get stuck, things happen. So, and they reacted, so it's all good. This chart featured with the leadership of Kara Howarth on trumpet. Let's see, Nehemiah Parker on alto saxophone. Ari Wooster on bari sax. And Seth Shake on trombone. They started us out in that chart section. And then we had soloist Brandon Askew on piano. Nehemiah Parker, alto saxophone. Joshua Blanchard, eventually on trumpet. Thank you, Joshua. Chase Wooden on tenor sax. and Michael Berry on the drums. And thank you. And I have to say, we have 3 bass players once again. So that was the chart. That was Ashley Noakes. She's on bass. All right, this next piece is entitled Jolly Beach. You see the program was composed by pianist, composer Annie Booth in 2019. There's a little bit of story behind this, but first, Annie Booth is now the assistant professor of jazz studies and music, jazz piano at the University of Colorado Boulder, one of my alma maters in the College of Music there. She's in demand as a pianist, a composer, a band leader, a recording artist. Here's the story. We bought this piece in 2020, and the jazz orchestra back then, you might recall from the pandemic, the jazz orchestra at that time had to rehearse, what do they call it, at a distance, with masks on. And what else did we do, Zachary? He's sitting right there. Oh yes, we recorded the piece, and it's on YouTube. But we recorded to a click track and put it all together with the magic of video and audio. And it's still on YouTube. It's one, at the time it was like, okay, we're going to do this, and it was a great project for us. Today is the first time this piece has been played live here at ODU. So, Jolly Beach. And actually, I'd like to dedicate it to that 2021 Jazz Orchestra, because that was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. This one features several people. The whole saxophone section, so Armin first, Armin Tabibi, Nehemiah Parker, Cooper Kaufman, Ari Wooster. Ari's going to play bass clarinet on this chart for part of it, and solo on it. And Jace Wooden on the tenor, Joshua Blanchard on trumpet, Brandon Eskew on piano, Michael Berry on drums, and this one has Jack Moreno on the bass. This is Jolly Beach. Would you like to play a couple notes? Can we play a couple notes just so we can get this mic set? Good. Thank you. Jolly Beach. Lots of musicians on that. Jolly Beach featuring the saxophone section, Metheny saxophone, Eli Parker, alto saxophone, Cooper Kaufman, tenor saxophone, Ari Worcester, bass clarinet, and baritone saxophone. Jason Witten on the tenor, Joshua Blanchard on the trumpet, Brandon Husky on the piano, and the one, the only, Michael Berry on the bass. Yes. Come on. All day. All day. Lead trumpet. Come on. All day. Yeah. All right, we're moving on. Couple of things before we allow the trumpets to do some tuning. Got another Bob Curnow arrangement of the Pat Metheny chart entitled "In Her Family." This was composed in 1987, released on Pat Metheny's Still Life Talking album back then. Bob Curnow recorded it, his arrangement, in 1994 with the Bob Curnow LA Big Band, the music of Pat Metheny and Lionel Mays. This features pianist Mackenzie Joyner Casanova and guitarist Mike Dean. And I believe Pablo is joining us on the bass. Set to get some flugelhorns, notice some tone differences and whatnot. So give us 2 minutes and we'll be ready. Mackenzie Joyner types of woman. Mike D on guitar. Yesterday. Beautiful chart. All right. A couple things. First of all, we got new folders this year. And while that may not seem such a big deal, it is. It is. So many thanks to the new class of ODU's Kappa Kappa Psi for purchasing brand new music folders for jazz orchestra. Is there one? I mean, the leather, vinyl-ish stuff that got embossed gold ODU jazz orchestra. And to an old band director, kind of like me, it makes a big deal because our jazz music budget would not have paid for those folders. So Kappa Kappa Psi, the new class decided that this was a worthwhile service project, and yes, it was. So thank you all very much for doing that. And also, thanks to several members of Kappa Kappa Psi for helping to manage our jazz orchestra music library. We play a lot of music and we read a lot of music, and sometimes that music ends up in my office in piles. And piles, lots of piles. So they got to see the piles this year. I kept them hidden, but it was time to clean it up, and they willingly came in and put things in new folders, music in new folders, redid an entire section because it was done backwards in the library, and even wrote down new charts that we had purchased in the last 3 years. 3 years of piles in my office. So thank you all for your time spent doing that. And again, it falls right along the line of service to bands. It's a big, big deal. I was a Kappa Kappa Psi member Alpha Iota Chapter, University of Colorado Boulder, 1980. It's a long time ago. All right. Also, we don't do these concerts without our sound recording crew. So lots of thanks to Dean School of Music, Chandler Recital Hall Manager, Kristen Keelan. I think he's in there. Yeah. Christian is an ODU alum, sound recording technology alum, pianist, etc., played in this ensemble. So he helps us get things going for the day. Also, Professor Alan Palmersmith, who is our sound recording technology professor, academic advisor, etc. Without him, none of this stuff happens at all. And it's a lot behind the scenes. I mean, we're streaming on Facebook, we've got lighting, we've got sound, we've got mics that work, we've got monitors that work. We have brand new mic stands. I mean, there's so much. And I gotta name some names. Lots of students. Mackenzie Joyner Casanova, Ashlyn Doak, Shatesia McCoy, Jacob Owens, Kamani Senegal, and Jason Taylor set all of this up for us. Got things ready, set up live sound, set up the recording, and they will be clearing the stage later today after all of us are gone. So please give these folks a round of applause. And just another minute to say, we are fortunate to have the support of the Dean School of Music faculty. Professor Tooby and I take over this hall, at noon on concert days. So that means somebody's not able to teach in here. So thank you to the faculty that allow us to do this in our recital hall. Also, thanks to the Jazz Orchestra. We've got outstanding musicians here at ODU, and these are just some of them, but they do things that we know about, and they do some pretty magnificent musicianship that may go unnoticed because it sounds so easy, but they work really hard. This year, the challenge for them is to read a lot of music, and as you hear tonight, we've done a swing chart, we've done a ballad, we've done a hip hop chart. How about that? We've done a hip hop chart, and we'll close it with a swinger. But the reality is they have to be ready to play anything. If they're going to be a performing musician and participate in multiple ways. They read a ton of music, multiple genres, but all of it has its roots in jazz. So thank you all for your work in musicianship. And sometimes, I tell them often in rehearsal, sometimes it's best that I just get out of their way and let them handle it. Tonight is a good example of that. Just get out of the way, let them do their thing. So I take my own advice. All right, so our next performance isn't on your program. It's actually a lecture performance presentation. The Jazz Orchestra and I are presenting a new jazz ensemble music reading session at the Virginia Music Educators Association conference on Saturday, November 22nd. That's at 10 a.m. at the Marriott Waterside. So here's what we're doing. We're reading 10 to 15 brand new jazz ensemble pieces from grade 1, which is about, maybe 7th grade, 8th grade, middle school jazz ensemble, all the way up to professional charts. One of which you're going to hear next. It's a great opportunity for them to learn music quickly. It'll be sections of music, but it's an even greater service to music educators in the area that either have a jazz ensemble or want to start one, so they can kind of hear this live. Anybody can go out to YouTube and find the scores and find the music online, but they may not, it's not always evident what is a good fit for their band. So we'll share some of that with them and I'm honored to be able to take the jazz ensemble, the jazz orchestra, to be in the A to do this. Great opportunity. All right, finally, last chart. The chart entitled "That Escalated Quickly," written by Craig Skeffington, my former colleague in the Brooklyn Jazz Orchestra. Craig just retired this year as a high school band director in Maine, but he's still publishing for Kendor Music, among other companies. The title for this, I believe the story is, I don't know if I've even told you this, the title came from their band was getting ready to perform at a district or a state festival, jazz festival, and they went up and they were told to come right back, and it was because of the pandemic. So the title, "That Escalated Quickly," is exactly what this is. Inspired by that. So the tune is based on rhythm changes, except for the bridge, which has descending sus7 chord changes. You're going to hear swing style, you're going to hear halftime funk style. Soloists include Nehemiah Parker on alto saxophone, Mackenzie Joyner Casanova on piano, and Jace Whitten on tenor saxophone. This is That Escalated Quickly. Thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate it.
Okay. Mackenzie. Q114. Mackenzie solo. No backgrounds. To 114. Good. Two drums up front.
Nehemiah Parker on the saxophone. Mackenzie Jordan passing on the piano. Jason Whitney, tenor saxophone. Michael Berger on drums. ODU Orchestra. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Wait, that's your camera. Yeah, that's one of those.